Shalom, this is your brother Yawanathan. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kodash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right, may the blessing of election be upon your house. Now, I was reading Matthew, the 8th chapter, where I was at work today, and I want to key in on a characteristic, which is faith, that we all should have. So we're going to go through, basically all the examples, but I definitely want to key in on a Roman officer who was an Israelite foreigner, all right? There were Israelites dwelling in Rome. There were Israelites dwelling in every land. When you go to the book of Acts and it talks about all those Jews, devout Jews, who came to Jerusalem for the Passover, they were from every land, and they spoke the languages of those lands. All right, now, Matthew, the 8th chapter, in the first verse, it reads, "And when he came down from the mountain, large crowds followed him." Oh, hold on. Let me switch over to the KJV, guys. Bear with me. I got this dang app, man. All right. Matthew 8. Okay, yeah. Matthew 8. In KJV, it says, "When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him." Now, in the New Testament, you see, did Yahweh Shai say, hey, don't do that? No, Yahweh Shai is to be worshipped. All things were bestowed unto him. He's the bridgeway back to the Father. All right? So when people were coming to him asking to be healed, they knew if this is the Messiah, underneath Yahweh, this is the highest you could go. This is basically the closest I can get to speaking to the Lord. Okay? Even in Psalms 2, it tells you what? Kiss the Son lest he be angry. All right, verse 2, it says, "And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean." Now, when we pray, even, you want to be in this spirit. If the Lord wills it. Because sometimes the Lord will put an affliction on you or put you in a tough spot for your own good. The prime example with Paul. He has to be freed of his thorn in the flesh. But the Lord said, hey, it's sufficient for you. You need that because, to buffet you to save you from yourself. To keep you down to earth, to keep your feet planted. So sometimes things are brought upon us to keep our feet planted. A lot of times you'll see men that are great in the spirit. They have things that keep their feet planted, man. It just is what it is. So even when you pray, you want to say, hey, if it be in your will, Lord, Verse 2 again, it says, "And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And Yahweh shall put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean." Now you have some Old Testament only people who will say, well, Yahweh Shai was breaking the law. He wasn't supposed to touch that leper. And if you want to go by, but because that's against the law, right? And it's likened unto touching a dead body. But he wasn't a leper when Yahweh Shai touched him. As the action of that happened, he was made clean. He was healed. If you want to be petty like that. All right, continuing on. "And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. And Yahweh Shai said unto him, See thou tell no man, but go thy way, shew thyself to the priest, and offer the gift that Moses commanded for a testimony unto them." All right, so it was a offering that you would bring if you say that, hey, to signify, hey, I was cleansed. All right, verse 5, it says, "And when Yahweh Shai was entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion," all right, that Israelite foreigner who worked in the Roman military. Okay, the same way you have high officials in Babylon's military who were Jakes. Same thing. All right, verse 5, "And when Yahweh Shai entered into Capernaum, there came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Yahushua saith unto him, I will come and heal him. And the centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak. All right, here it is. But speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth. All right, now, what he's expressing to Yahushua is that he understands authority and how it works. He understands the strength of a command, of words going out when a position of prestige and power is upon a man. A man in a high position of power, he can make a lot of pieces move with simply his words. Okay? So he understood that because he's like, hey, I live this. I understand that you're, being commissioned by the Most High. So I know if you were to speak something, the angels are going to move on your behalf. So he was expressing his understanding and also his faith that Yahushua was the Son of God. All right. So verse 9, for I am a man under authority. All right. The same way Yahushua, he's doing the work of his Father. He's under authority, but authority has also been given unto him. Having soldiers under me, and I say to this man, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And I say unto you, that many shall come from the east and the west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into outer darkness, those of the commonwealth, those Israelites who grew up knowing they were Israelites, and they thought they had it figured out. They said they could make it by their own righteousness by keeping the Lord's commandments, which we couldn't keep perfect, and even themselves weren't keeping it perfect in the Holy Land. But he was saying, yeah, people, chicks that think they got it, man, they actually don't got it. And it's a lot of people who y'all look down upon who are Israelite foreigners, who are not from the land, who didn't grow up in the land, who are going to make it. The Lord's going to be with them. They're going to be exalted. So when I read that, when I was reading that while I was at work, I had the Bible audio going, just caught my attention. All right. So we're like, that Israelite foreigner, that centurion. We believe in the mere speech that was spoken unto us, and we believe in the words of God. We believe that his Son is with us. We believe that he's going to come back with the healing in his wings. Okay? Always examine, man, your faith. Do you believe this book? Do you believe what's being said? I forgot. It's a word that they use for faith in Israel today. The fake Jews. It's in the Hebrew. It's faith, but it's like it's a more potent version of the word for faith. It's like a knowing. And that centurion in this chapter, yeah, it was a great faith, but it was like he knew for a fact. It wasn't something that was debatable for him. He knew that Yahushua was who he said he was. He knew that, if he simply spoke it, that his servant would be healed. And we have to be in the spirit of a knowing. You understand? So, with that being said, man, Abaratazah, the lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises once more to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. Bahashem Rakak Radash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And I want to say shalom to all the brothers and, of course, the few sisters who are pursuing this truth in sincerity. All right? May the blessing of election be upon your house. Shalom.